One of Stadia's biggest problems has always been marketing and advertising the platform, but that might be changing real soon. As of yesterday, Google's began to advertise Stadia in a very unique way through their Google TV OS, and I have to say, this is something that me and many others within the Stadia community have been hoping to see for a very long time. This is the advertisement, and as you can tell, Stadia is not even front and center, it's Destiny 2. It's a super popular franchise that has millions of players all over the world, and it's a game that happens to be free to play. That means anyone who decides to click play on Stadia is gonna seamlessly be able to enjoy a game after connecting a controller. And in this case, it may be even more seamless than you think, because everyone's already signed into their Gmail account, which means they're signed into a Stadia account because you need to actually sign in to set up Google TV. All they'd have to do is connect the controller and then they're off to play. And that's a very impressive feat. Even more so when you consider that the biggest hurdle cloud gaming has is this negative connotation of it not being good enough to actually play on. From the very beginning, I've made it very clear that cloud gaming is the type of technology that you need to try for yourself before you actually believe in it. And by advertising Stadia in this fashion, there's a very good chance that if the user has a really good experience playing Destiny 2, they may look into playing something else on there. There's 3 key details about this form of advertisement that I really think will pay off in a big way for Google. Right now, I'm going to be talking in the perspective of an end user who probably doesn't know anything about Stadia and just bought the Google TV stick as a media streamer but does enjoy gaming on the side. After all, you're only going to be seeing this ad if you are interested in gaming in general. That's why it's under the For You section. The first impression I'd have is, wow, this is free to play? The idea of playing a familiar title that I'm used to playing on my console or PC for absolutely free without needing to buy any sort of hardware or hook anything up is pretty impressive. The second detail would be the fact that it's instant. Yeah, you can just play without having to wait for a download or update. It's something that I think everyone knows and understands when talking about cloud gaming, but until you actually use it actively, it's kind of hard to grasp just how convenient it is. I can't tell you how many times I've had to delete games from my PC, PS5, or Xbox Series X to make way for a new title that I'm interested in. But when it comes to Stadia or any other game streaming service out there, my whole collection of games is immediately accessible, and that's a big deal, and it has led me to replay some older titles that I wouldn't have anywhere else. And the third and final detail, if everything worked out perfectly, is that Stadia works. I don't necessarily think the average gamer actually knows what Stadia is. Most of the time when I bring it up to friends or family, they're curious about it because they've never heard of it. But one thing is for sure, and that's that more and more people are starting to hear the words cloud gaming. And to give credit where it's due, a lot of it is probably coming from the fact that Xbox is starting to push game streaming in a big way. They're a very trusted gaming company and a lot of people are heavily invested into their ecosystem. I mean, you can just see the concurrent viewers they had for their E3 presentation. That sort of reach can't be ignored, but what Google needs to do is leverage its strengths in order to advertise itself. Doing what they're doing through Google TV is a huge step forward, but there are many others they can take. I have strongly been advocating that since day one they need to start integrating it into YouTube more and more. If they can add a play now button underneath a trailer for a game that happens to be on Stadia, I think that would go a long way. Another thing that happened not that long ago is that the first official Google store opened up in New York, and within it lies a whole Stadia section where people can try out and play games on Stadia. Now, don't get me wrong with what I'm about to say, the Stadia room looks awesome and everything, and I would love to go see it myself, but this is just the beginning of what they really should be doing. And that's setting up a demo kiosk in major stores where video games are sold. Showcase that you can play some great AAA titles on Stadia, and then showcase the price of what it costs to actually get the setup to play it on your TV. Because even if you have to buy a Stadia Premier Edition to game on your TV, you're probably still paying a lot less than the console that's probably showcased right next to it. But either way, I'm just excited to see this form of advertisement being used, and I really do hope it's just the beginning. I imagine we're going to be seeing a lot other advertisements for other Stadia titles within this same space, and it's going to be really cool when we see some big AAA title up there. And just to be clear, I'm not trying to say this sort of thing will make Stadia an instant success, but it's definitely going to be a step toward that direction. If you have any ideas on how you would advertise Stadia to the general public, do let me know down in the comment section below. I really would love to hear them myself. If you enjoyed today's video or found it helpful at all, be sure to hit that like button as it really does help the channel out, and if you're wanting more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell as well. Thanks for your time, and as always, this has been the Virtual Cloud, giving you the latest and greatest on everything cloud gaming and VR related, and until next time, I'll catch you in the clouds.